Hey, it's your CEO, Weekend Gabe, and thanks for watching Weekend at Gabe's. We hope that you enjoy this latest episode. While you're here, hit the subscribe button and follow us on YouTube. Thanks for watching.
All right, man. It's a pleasure to introduce this next guest, but first, let me get some stuff going. Hang on. I'm gonna get my Southside joint on.
He's got to get his Southside joint on. Yes,
I'm gonna get my Southside joint.
Love doing the show. This right here is why we love doing the show. He got the Southside joint on, and why Weekend Gabe?
Because your boys from the South Side, and also because we have Kayo Southside joining us here on Weekend at Games. Let's go.
Yo,
what's going on?
How are you, sir?
Good, family? Man, I'm doing good, and y'all?
Good, man. Good. We're so happy to get you on. We've had the record for a while, but it really took me until today to like really lock in and listen to it. And it was fun while it lasted. Is one of the most amazing things I've heard in a while. And I know that we have a lot of young artists and a lot of artists that you collaborate with on this record that I've also passed through here with their amazing records. But this to me just feels like an absolute complete project of someone who came in with a mission to tell the story and delivered it in a heartfelt way, but also in a disciplined way, because the records are concise. They do what they need to do, and you don't oversell it, which I love about that. Everything feels like it needs to be where it needs to be, and your album release party that's tomorrow night over at the Sanctuary. You're gonna dive into that. We're gonna get into that in a bit, but I just want to congratulate you on putting together a absolute gorgeous album.
Man, thank you, bro. I truly appreciate it. Thank you. I'm glad y'all like it.
You mentioned in the These Days interview that you knew that this record was it. Like you spoke so confidently, like everyone's gonna love this. This is the record.
Like, you said album of the year. That was what I heard, Kale. I heard album of the year.
Yo, what's crazy is I have to go find that in screenshots. That's really good for like my manifestation board. I didn't even know I said that. That's fire. But no, I was very confident behind it for the reasons that you're saying. Like while we were making it, I was cutting out so many good songs. I knew it had to be a great body of work. Like when you cut out like a song, like obviously y'all wouldn't know the names that I would say, but like certain songs, it's like, okay, if this doesn't make the album, it's like, nah, this shit is crazy. Like this shit is crazy. And we had like 25 songs on it that were like done, like honestly, like a solid 25. And wow. I was just like, we can't pull the Chris Brown, all due respect. Like 30, you know what I'm saying? Like
thank you first and foremost for not pulling the Chris Brown. Thank you.
Yeah, like I'm like, yo, and I said, we were I think we were at 14. And even that felt like too much. Like I was listening and like I have a voice that's really like almost like the Jay-Z effect, where it's like if you listen for too long, it starts to get very monotone. Yeah. Wow. And I was like, nah, we can't do 14. So I cut 2 more off. So I was like, it did 2 things. 1, I know this shit is concise, but 2, if I cut off like a classic, I took that off. Like I know that like this project has to be incredible. To be incredible.
So that, I mean, a decision like that comes with a lot of self-awareness. You talked about analyzing your own voice. Does that come entirely from you, or do you take that from your collaborators? Obviously, you work closely with the Third. You work closely with all of these people who obviously have an opinion on your music. But it seems like you're making these personal decisions for yourself. Where does that self-reflection come from?
A little bit from self, but honestly, 70% from Third, who you mentioned. Like Third like he literally is like a walking needle. If I'm a balloon, he is a walking needle. Like everywhere I go, like literally whatever he obviously bigs me up at all times. He believes I'm the greatest rapper of all time. Got the greatest album of all time. He's like, this shit gonna take us everywhere. And he's one of those, but he's also one of those. In fact, the day I announced the album was done, I made like a cryptic ass post on Instagram, like it's finished. And he calls, he says, yo, I'm done. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He says, exactly, nigga. Nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about. Stop making it like just starts grilling me about this Instagram post. Like, yo, goddamn. And I'm just like, yo, I'm happy as shit that my project is done. And you don't call with no congrats, no nothing. Just
right.
Are you stupid?
Stop being weird on the internet.
So he's one of those. Like, he's gonna like, if you're not self-aware, he's gonna tell you, like, yo, nobody's trying to hear that shit. Take this off. This picture sucks. This outfit sucks. Like, he's one of those.
And he has the production credits on this album. He appears in the producer notes, which we did not get a chance to look at, but is something I'm very curious to figure out who produced all these records, because they're incredible. But let's talk about that really quick before we get into the other stuff. Where did your relationship with Third start? Was that back in the grade school days? Like, how far back do y'all go?
Man, we maybe it's weird because I feel like I technically would have been in school. I dropped out as a junior in high school. So it's like 2 school years that I should have been in school that I kind of like missed. So I probably was supposed to be in school, but I don't think I was in school when we met. Probably like freshman year, sophomore year of high school. He's from Pennsylvania. So like he had just found me on Twitter, I believe, on either Twitter or like IG, something social, and was just a fan of the music. Like, he was just a fan. You know what? I'm lying. He didn't find me. I found him. I was in a group called New World. I remember it just came back to me. I was in a group.
We've talked about New World before on this show.
Yeah, with Elijah. Yeah. So I was in a group, and we actually stole literally hell of his beats off of SoundCloud. Like, ripped them shits like clean off of SoundCloud.
That SoundCloud to MP3 is a drug,
crazy, you know? Crazy. And he loved the project, so he was just like, yo, I want to work with y'all. And nobody else took him up on the offer except me. So yeah, we just ended up becoming like best friends from there. And yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm glad you mentioned like you dropping out of high school, because that kind of comes up on the last record on the album, right? Was it Grow Up?
Yeah, When I Grow Up.
When I Grow Up. And you kind of talk about that. And it's so interesting when you discuss this. You're like, I'm in a math class, but I'm worrying if I don't have enough songs. And, you know, and it's like, how do you, or, you know, is this, and there's a lot of stuff that we're going to get into as far as the record, Grandma's Boy. But like, as far as like knowing that school is not the angle for you, and you already have in your mind what you need to do and where you need to be, but you're held down by sort of this societal obligation to be in school.
Yeah.
Like, how do you, like, where was the courage to break that and like, I'm not going to follow that route?
You know what? Honestly, I didn't even need much courage. My parents made like a really nut ass decision, which kind of put them at a fork in the road, because they basically couldn't really force me to go to school. The reason being, I was straight A student, right? And I had a scholarship to University of Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, which is where all my people went to. My family, their family, like everybody went there. All of my friends went there, like generations going to that school. And they up and like for financial reasons was like, fuck it, we dipping to Florida. And like just uprooted me from my whole shit. So at first I was like, I'm not going, like I want to finish out school, but I saw the opportunity in it. So I go there, and basically they put me in. I'm not even going to, off record, we can talk about what type of school. It was a nut-ass school, yo. Like a nut-ass school.
This is down in Florida?
This is down in Florida. This is in Clearwater, Florida.
Yeah, we're going to have to talk about that off air.
Florida always going to Florida. Let's just be clear about that.
Yeah. So it's like some nut shit, man. And not even as the school itself was bad, just the system. Like, they didn't even do grades. There was no such thing as 11th grade. Like, it was literally like forms and shit. Like, it was Form 6, Form 7, Form 8. It was crazy. So I had to start all the way over. If that wasn't enough, I was working at a marketing firm, and they basically told me I needed to choose between working a job or being in school. I'd been in school for 6 months at that point when they brought up that proposition. and I had straight A's still. Like I was smartest out of school. Like that was never the issue. So I said, obviously I'm choosing this mark. Like I'm choosing this $50,000 a year
You're gonna
job
go
at
choose this
16.
paper.
Like, are you
Yeah.
crazy? Yeah, are you crazy? And they couldn't really say much about it because they had always felt bad for basically taking me out of what I was in and literally starting me over, essentially as a freshman. Like that's some nut ass shit to
Right.
put your own child through, which they didn't know it was gonna happen. Like it's not like they was like, "Oh, we finna fuck your life up." Like they didn't know it was gonna.
This is a diabolical
like
scheme that they wouldn't have.
Yeah, like it had just kind of like happened to us all by happenstance. So yeah, I don't want to be long-winded on that, but essentially they never really had the choice and the matter because of how bad they felt. So yeah, skedaddle right on about that jam.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Okay, let's get back to the album here just for a minute. And while we're on the topic of family, obviously that's a huge theme for what's coming out with this new one. It was fun while it lasted. You got a lot of voices on this tape. It sounds like your mom. It sounds like your grandmother. Maybe a girlfriend somewhere in that mix, or at least a girl.
It's hilarious. So she's playing the character of girlfriend, but she's actually my actual girlfriend's best friend. Wild as hell, yeah.
Complicated.
Yeah.
Anyways, I just wanted to ask a question. Like, I mean, I think it's a dream of a lot of people who get into music to have their family contribute to the album in a way, but at the same time, there's a lot of barriers to overcome in there, right? You speak on one of the records about, it's like, grandma almost cried when I said I was going to do the rapper route. So then to have her come and sit down in the studio or however you got the recording, like that must have been a full circle moment for you. Is that awkward for you to kind of get over those hurdles? Is that something you embrace? Like, it was part of the storytelling of the album. Clearly it was very important to you.
Right. You gotta embrace it. Like, of course it's going to be awkward, but it's like, it's one of those things. I always figure, like, of course nobody believes in this shit. You can't be mad. Like, you can't charge nobody for not. But like, this literally, I was just telling my brother Elijah, like, this is the most unrealistic shit of all time. Like, literally, like, we know 30 different musicians just in Chicago. Like, I don't know who's watching, like, but like, let's just keep it a beam between us three. You think all of us are gonna be like? It's impossible. It's literally impossible.
A boy can dream, man. Don't be the needle to my balloon right now.
It's like it's impossible for everybody to be the somebody, not to be a somebody, but to be the somebody. Is impossible. So it's like those family members that you may have, with whatever dreams you may have, it's like they're really just looking out for you, and they have like your best interest at heart, and they're just like, I don't believe this, but at the same time, don't put your limitations on me. So I kind of look at it as like, I don't charge them for it. Like, we move forward. It's awkward in the first few moments. Like, damn, like, I gotta come ask you for this favor to come say something for this album when the last thing that you said to me was that shit is not gonna work out. So it's definitely awkward, but I don't charge nobody with it. And yeah, just embrace the moment. Just kind of look at it like you said, it's a full circle moment. Like, I'm in a place now where they're going to be at my release party tomorrow. They're like, oh my God, I think we're about to have our first famous family member. Like, literally, that has been said to me within the last week. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to charge it to the game. Like, don't let people put their limitations on you at all. Like, stand firm in that shit, but also don't charge people for living in a realistic box. Like, that's the box that we were taught to live in. So it's not their fault.
Hell yeah.
Is there any sort of awkwardness, because there's like this, obviously, this moment of celebratory feelings, but let's look at the album and unpack it for a while. There's a lot of pain you express throughout this record. So like examining that and evaluating how relationships that are close to you with your parents, with the women in your life, and how that's created the man and the person you are, and the decisions that you've made, and the hurdles that's created with you building a loving and functional relationship. Like, does that ever feel like a bit of a contrast or a contradiction a little bit? You're like, yeah, we're this is great. We're at this high moment, but look at all the shit that I had to go through first to get to this. And it's all laid out into the record. And some of you guys are responsible for this.
Right. Hey, facts. Now that last sentence that you said is the most important because it's like so funny. Like as artists, we put ourselves through all this turmoil and all this bullshit to give a beautiful life to the family that like don't even believe in the shit in the first place. Like that is hilarious. But but like yeah, it's pain. That title is very specific, and if you really look at that title, I think a lot of people, honestly, I think not one person has looked at that title how it was supposed to be looked at. I don't think anybody has gotten like I'm not saying it was fun while it lasted in a negative way. That was the moment. Like when I said that sentence to myself, that was a moment of clarity, and it was a moment of saying it was fun while it lasted to all of the negative. Not saying, oh, well, it was fun while it lasted. That was like literally taking a moment to say, look, me and my dad had these situations like financially. Like I feel like he could have been better here, here, here. Me and my mom, I feel like she could have been better here, here, here. Me and my girl, here, here, here. Like I say on the intro, I forget what I said, but some shit like the girl who was my biggest fan said I should die alone would probably end up married because it's like these are real feelings, but it's like it was fun. Like, why are we depressed? Or not we? Why am I depressed about some shit that literally gave me content? Like, this album doesn't exist without those negative moments. And this album, literally, spoiler for anybody that's listening, we hit fucking capacity at the release party for it tomorrow. And the shit is not even out yet, bro.
Hell yeah.
Like, you hear me, dog? Like, this, it's not even out. I have no album out. There's nothing but Lucy's on on any of my streaming. So with that said, it's like all of this stuff that's happening, this album is more than likely going to be the one that does it. It's like, you gonna be mad? Nah, that shit was fun while it lasted. It was great. I'm so glad I went through that. I'm so glad that those dark moments happened. I don't have an intro if New World doesn't break up. I don't have a track 2 if I don't get kicked out of We'll Talk Off Record again. I don't have a track 3 if I never take a truck driving job because I was broke as shit, have an anxiety attack and an asthma attack all at once, get skirted off the side of the road and have to randomly pop up at Third's house, and he happened to live there by happenstance. You know what I'm saying? Like, just happened to be 20 minutes away from the exit that I got skirted off from. Like, it's like all of these negative things, this album doesn't exist without it. So that was a very happy, it was fun while it like I'm so glad that happened. So
that transitions nicely into this piece of writing that you have on your website, and it may be old, it may predate the album a little bit, but I was reading it this morning. I thought it was particularly poignant. You speak with a pastor, and you're talking about sort of overworking yourself, and then you get to talking about sort of the mechanics of walking in and of itself, and like this one foot in front of the other thing. And it's interesting to hear you explain the title of the album in that way, because it very much feels like a part of that story, almost a little bit. So in that sense, given what you just said, as far as it was fun while it lasted being more of a positive thing, have you found a new way to work that keeps you into, I don't know if I would say a happy state, but an enjoyable state, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, like, I'm nervous for project number 2 because it's like a lot of my content comes from dark moments, and it's like them shits don't exist no more. Like,
like you're about to drop an album. I just want to talk about the next thing, like the next album. You know,
like I'm honestly scared because really, the spirit that I be having is like, yo, I'm always enjoying life now because it's so much more time, God willing, in front of us. It's like I'm 23. I turned 24 in like 10 days or some shit. It's like the negative shit that's behind me, realistically, probably takes up about 6 years. Like if you compiled everything and put it day after day after day, it maybe takes up like 5 or 6 years. And I'm 23 years old. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's not like every day is a bad day. So I be on some enjoyable shit now just because. Can I curse on here?
Yeah,
You sure can.
Okay, I'm just making sure. For sure. It would definitely be a done deal if I could. But no, I just kind of like, I'm in this place now, bro. Like it's gonna sound gaudy or whatever, but I'm just like, yo, I was given this ability and like so few people can do it like with me on the level that I do it. It's like, what are we sad about? Like imagine if you, even if you never made it to the NBA, imagine if you could hoop on Michael Jordan's level. Like you're not gonna be depressed about shit. Like yo, whenever I'm depressed, I'm just gonna go to the nearest court and ball some niggas up real quick, like point blank period.
That's what
like,
Gabe's about to
like,
find out on the one-on-one.
Yeah.
You know?
It's like, yeah, it's that easy. Like, yo, be grateful. Like I was given this talent, man, and this year, I don't know why, 2023, man, like it is just kind of hit me in a crazy way. Like, yo, you're really good at this thing. Everybody thinks you're good at this thing. In fact, for the last 3 years of your career, everybody has believed in you more than you believed in your damn self. Like, that's how good you are at this thing. Like, what are we sad about? So regardless what dark things happen, I just always take a place of, yo, my puppy might die, but at least I still am the greatest rapper of this shit. Or like my pet might die, but at least I still, like, I got a fucking rap career. This is what I wanted to do my whole life, and it's finally happening. Like, and I'm doing it at a high level. I'm doing it at a great level. It's like, what is there to be sad about, man? I don't know. I don't know if that answers your question, but I definitely wanted to get that
was
shit
beautiful.
off.
That was beautiful. I love it.
I wanted to just before we move on to before we get out of here, I wanted to really get into this one, we're talking about the album like everyone's heard it. So, for anyone who's listening to,
I thought about this in the pre-prod. We do need to talk about the album like people have heard it because you're gonna do the release party tomorrow.
Eventually,
which is when this will drop on YouTube. And the next time people watch this shit, the album will be available to release. So go ahead, Gabe.
Exactly.
All right, but I want to ask about so you have 2 separate tracks running, but on the second track, your guy Sandy Benjamin jumps on there on the solo effort, and he tells this wonderful story about his whole challenge of getting to Chicago, trying to make it, almost giving up, and then finding you, another Southsider. Talk about why that was important to include him into what otherwise is your story, because now it's time to feels like it's an extended branch into where this story can now almost like what is it like a character in like a Transformers now getting their own solo fucking film. No, it kind of feels like we're setting him up for his run now.
Facts, man, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. That was the first song. I think that might have been the first song to ever make me cry, like ever. Wow. And reason being, I did not send that shit to him for him to rap to it. Sandy Benjamin is a producer. Very few people know this about this guy. He produces a lot of his own shit. So I had a record. We sampled Gap Band, sped it up, chopped it up, sampled it. I rapped. Running One was initially over that. As we're getting ready to send the album in for submission, I'm like, wait, I'm stupid. We're never going to get that sample cleared. Am I dumb? I need to fix this real quick. So I sent it to Sandy Benjamin to rework the beat. That's all I sent it to him for. Have the text to prove it. Yo, can you rework this beat? I'm never going to get this Gap Band sample cleared. Send it back to me whenever it's done. This motherfucker sends back a new beat. But with his vocals over it, like my shit is gone. Like, it's gone. so, and he's rapping, and I'm listening. It's like 3 a.m, yo, and I'm listening, and he tells this story, and I've never heard that story. I've never met him personally in my life. I only know him via internet. But we're like this, like we're like brothers. But it's like I've never met him in my life, so I had no clue that he had those Chicago connect. Like we were walking past each other and didn't even know it. So I'm hearing it, and he mentions Pat the manager, which is Chance the Rapper's
Right.
ex-manager. And I'm like, oh my, we were in the same rooms at the same college at the same, like, oh shit. And he tells like that final story of being put in a group chat with me and a few other rappers. It was Asar, Nate Joel, Chris Patrick,
God,
Corrali.
This is the who's who. Corrali was at my New Year's.
Yeah, not like literally. It was like that chat, and it was like 7 of them. But it was like the people that you see on Twitter now. This chat was before anybody, like before Chris dropped From the Heart too. Like
Right.
this, like 4 or 5 years ago,
Mm.
and we were just all in this chat and shit. And he tells that story, and I never ever heard it from that perspective in my life. Like I didn't know that all of that was happening on the other side of my own
Right.
life happening. And it's like he chose to tell me in the form of a song and gave no context. I swear to God, I can show you the text right now. He just sent the song. Like, just sent it. No context, no nothing. Just sent it. And I'm like, holy shit. So he wanted me to put it with the Gap Band. I'm like, fuck no. That has to stand on its own.
Yeah.
So I did Running 1 at the top of the project and did Running 2, almost how Jay-Z did on I want to say Volume 3. The intro was the same as the outro.
Right.
Almost like that. So yeah, man, that shit is man.
Yeah, I gotta be honest. Running 2 is definitely among my top 3 on this tape for sure.
It's crazy.
I had a lot of fun with that record, for sure. Man, what an incredible story. I want to get really quickly into what we can expect from tomorrow. Obviously, by the time people view this, the album party will be happening. But you speak in certain interviews about sort of a museum level experience is what you're trying to provide to people tomorrow night. So first off, why is it? We've been to a bunch of album release parties, me and Gabe. We go out, we hear people's new stuff. It's always a great time. But why do it differently, right? That's my first question. And the second question is more fundamental. Why do a release party at all?
Fire. I'm going to ask the second question first and the first question second.
Go ahead.
So, release party, they're actually almost the answers might actually be the same. Why do a release party? We're trying to push the envelope forward. So, to your first question, the way that everyone does it, the problem with that is everyone has does it. What's the point of, or has done it? What's the point of doing it again? Like, there's no point in that. So the reason we want to do a release party is because I want the people to hear the album standing like shoulder length with me first. Like, I want you to see, like, and you're going to see the characters. Like, my girl's going to be there. You're going to be able to put a face to the name. My parents are going to be there. My auntie and uncle are going to be there. Like, these names that I'm mentioning, you're going to be able to put a face to the name and, oh, I get it now. And you're going to be able to see the dynamic. And I really just want people to hear from me first. Like, I don't need to, the album is good on its own. Like, I don't need to convince anyone to listen, but I don't think that people understand me when I say this is the best body of work to come out in a minute. And it's going to be the best body of work to come out this year. And I can put my life on it. Like, I don't think people understand what I'm saying. It's not because I just rap better than everyone. Like, everyone raps good. Rap is the easiest shit in the world. Everyone can rap good. That's not the reason why. It's the story. It's the way that I'm laying out the story. And it's the most important point of this album, which I don't know if y'all caught this. It ends with resolve. Every other depressing album ends with the nigga still being depressed at the end of that shit. This shit
finally pays off.
Yeah, like, this shit ends with a solution. And it's like, you're like, fuck. But then by the last 3 tracks, you realize it goes from Still, produced by Southpaw Suede, to
shout out to the GOAT.
To When I Grow Up. I forget the one before Still, but yeah, from Still to When I Grow Up. And it's like, it brings you up. It's like, oh, you're here. So it's like, I want to tell people to their face, this is not going to be no spooky thing. Like I ain't finna be like, yay, like floating up on the shit. I'm literally just gonna be telling mugs to their face, like, no, I don't think you understand. I know you was gonna listen, but nah, you have to listen to this shit.
Right.
And I want you to look at me square in my eyes while you're listening, or else you're not going to understand it. Now, the reason we did it differently is the answer to the second question. It's like, because everyone has done it now. Like, there's no point in doing it if you're going to do it the same as everybody else.
Right.
Like, everybody comes. I went to one, I won't say whose. It was so bad, and not because the album was bad, but people were talking over the album, and it was like you couldn't even. And I'm like, yo, like, why would you even do this shit to yourself?
Yeah.
Wait, did you say Common?
No, I didn't say Common like the rapper. Sorry, that I realized that could have been misinterpreted. No, I said it's a common experience across the board.
I didn't know his shit
Common,
was that bad.
your music is fine. I don't know if you're out there watching.
Common, yo.
Yeah,
I love Common. But yeah, no, it was like so bad. So I said, I have anger issues, yo. Like, motherfuckers ain't finna do that shit to me, or it's gonna be a problem in that motherfucker. So I was like, let me make it something that we're not dissing Common. Hey, that's hilarious. But I was just like, yo, let me make it something that's interactive. And you know what inspired me, man? Kanye West, not Saint Pablo, Life of Pablo, Yeezy Season 3, the release party.
Madison Square
Garden.
I
was watching it, Madison Square Garden. It was so simple. And that's what made it. He walked out with his laptop. Yeah. Yes, with an aux cord and a laptop, and just plugged it in and said, hey guys, I'm going to play my album, and just press play on that shit. I said, why have I never thought to do, like, why do we got to do all of these charades and all of this big, like, no. Hey guys, after you finish checking out the museum and all of these things that we have for you, come sit in this circle. I'm giving y'all what the layout is going to be. I'm in a circle, and it's going to be circles like around the center circle where I'm going to be. And look at me while I talk about this album and press play on that motherfucker. And you have to awkwardly stare me in my eyes and tell me that this shit not fire. And nobody's going to be willing to do that. So, yeah, that's
I don't know. It sounds like a challenge. And,
hey, man, you're challenged. If you can listen to this shit without dropping a tear, without getting some chills, without feeling something, if you can do that, I got $100 for you. No, I don't. You're going to have to get that shit in blood. But
no, I feel like I already lost that bet just off that. Like, listening to this, and I think it's great to hear you talk about sort of the resolve of it. I think musically, I mean, it speaks for itself, the people that you brought together for this album, as far as Asar, as far as Third, Geogenesis, who is incredible. We'd love to have on the show one day. All of these people who have come together. I mean, I don't know that he's on the producer credits, but is Ro on the producer credits at some point?
Ro mixed and mastered the entire album, and he literally produced.
It sounded like he had his hand on it throughout, you know, like I was listening to it.
He produced more than half, yeah. In fact, the deluxe version, spoiler alert. The
deluxe the first one of the year, ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
Let's write it up.
Damn near every song on the deluxe, so yeah, his hand is on everything, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Everything. In fact, even the song, there are songs on here that he's not credited for just because it was getting like redundant. Like, there are songs that he didn't produce, but he like changed the entire beat up. That's the
level.
Shit up.
That's the level that man is at.
Ro is amazing. Ro is absolutely amazing.
Incredible human being. And yeah, I mean, before we get into some fun questions here, because we are running out of time, I just I want to reflect on that topic of these people coming together to make this thing, because to me, when I listened to it and I heard all these influences, it really sounded like Chicago coming together. And I don't mean that in sort of like a nebulous fashion. I mean it very simply as like the right now time of Chicago. Forget Chance, forget Kanye, forget all that shit. The people who are here right now doing the thing, they all got together and were like, yo, we're going to help KO with this thing, you know? And that's why it grabbed me like a warm hug, because it was like, wow, it's like y'all really came together and made something cohesive. And I was just wondering if you could reflect on first the state of the Chicago scene and the relations, the chance encounters, the pulling your truck over on the side of the road and just happen to be 30 minutes from Third Crip, like those things, like they all seem random when you just mention them off the cuff, but like it almost feels planned, like to an extent. Can you speak to that a little bit before we get into some fun questions?
Of course. So I'm speaking to the Chicago scene and just
like what is the state of the scene? Because me and Gabe talk a lot about this on the show, as far as like there was the whole Chicago hates you movement for a while. Like there's the classic, Chicago's never gonna fuck with you. You got to move to LA to actually get some fans or whatever it is.
Right.
But to see y'all all put the egos aside for a second and then come together, it felt really good to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's like really crazy is you actually just, I feel like you're my therapist now, because you really just, I never noticed a lot of the Chicago scene really did stop everything that they were doing to help me with the shit. I didn't just notice that until you just said what you said. Down to the fact that it like sold out to capacity tomorrow when everybody has shit that they could be doing, and I don't even have an album out. Like, it's like, what is everybody coming here for? Like, you know what I'm saying? I have no reason for you to come see me. So that's crazy, man. I'm about to drop a tear because of that. I never noticed that. I think because of that, because of what you just said, I probably would have answered it 100% different if you hadn't just said what you just said. I think the Chicago scene is in great hands, not because they just helped me. That's not a selfish answer,
but that's also true.
It's also true a little bit. But I think they're in great hands because we are in great hands. I think we're in a place now where we're finally recognizing what's real. And to me, side note, make it real out now, go grab that. But we're finally recognizing what's real. And to me, what that means is like, sometimes
completely forgot about Morgan Gold too. Sorry.
I was about to say, shout out to Morgan Gold.
Shout out to Morgan Gold. Deserves her.
Yo, she is so incredible. Like in real life, she actually sings better in real life than she damn near better than she does on record. No bullshit. Like,
oh yeah,
it's crazy. Anyways, the Chicago scene is in great hands because regardless, if this person has 500 followers, if his pinned tweet is some fire shit, everybody's going to retweet it. And we were never in that space. Like, we were never in that space. And I think, like, we're just finally in a space. The way that I'm sure you, or I know you all have heard the record with Femdot on it.
Yeah. Paris Price, too, who also is great.
So, Paris is like, he doesn't count because he's, like, my best friend. So, he doesn't really count. But Femdot, however, I have never done music with him in my life. Me and Paris got 107 records. Femdot was a very interesting case because it's no secret. Like, I'm not dropping a bombshell when I say he was clearly miles over me, like, when he reached out, like, miles. And he reached out to me, promised to God. He said, yo, I love what you're doing. I want to be a part of the project. And I was like, I swear to God, I hit the group chat. I'm like, yo, like, we good. It was like fucking if Saba reached out to 2012 me. Like, it was like, what the fuck?
That's the next album, though. That's down the line, you know?
Oh, yeah. Saba, Herb, I need both of them on there, man. And like, that's when it kind of clicked. I said, yo, we are finally in a place now where Femdot, as big as he is, just got off tour, just did XYZ. He can say, oh my God, this kid is nice. Fuck it, I want to put a verse on this album. We were never in that place. Like, we were never in that place. And I just think now, bro, niggas got a problem. Like, I'm talking about, I got 92.3 coming to the release party tomorrow. I got a DJ from 107.5 coming to the, like, we are in a place now where everybody's together. And when Chicago is together, you're fucked, yo. It's 100 Kanyes in this bitch. We got painters, we got artists, we got rappers, we got singers, we got producers, and we have the best of all. I'm willing to put myself, Asar, Femdot, Saba against anybody in the country. I'm willing to put Ro Marsalis, Southpaw Suede, Gold Haze against anybody in the, like, you gonna have a long ass day. The problem was originally I would be beefing with Asar would be beefing with Saba beefing with Femdot. So it's like one person. It's like, New York gonna get you out of here, Atlanta gonna get you out of here,
Yeah.
Cali gonna get you out of here. Now we in a place now where it's like, nah, yo. Even the radio is with the artist. Like radio has never been with artists in no era of hip hop ever. Like even radio, like Chicago radio is on our side, and they fucking with us. Chicago videographers. Cole Bennett might pull up tomorrow. I told him about it. Like it's like everybody is just like, nah, fuck it. Like let's make this city the city. So we in a great place, man. And y'all got a problem on y'all hands, bro. Y'all got a problem. Shout out to that number one behind Sam, Derrick Rose, greatest point guard of all time. Let's go, man. Let's go.
You know what it is, people. All right. That was an incredible answer. And we are definitely running out of time. Gabe, let's get into fun questions. You want to
All right. All right. Fun questions. You are ahead of the Southside Blue Hearts, which is a creative house with no boundaries. And you guys do a lot of fashion. Whenever we have people who do fashion, we often ask them to dress me because Sam likes to think I can't.
He's already myself. Put one piece on your head, Gabe. You want more?
I'm a heavy set guy. What do heavy set guys should we be looking for in 2023?
First of all, heavy set guys, y'all got the fucking cheat code. Have you ever seen Joe Fresh Goods in your life? Like y'all be the freshest motherfuckers ever. Like it's not even funny because you can wear baggy shit and it doesn't look big. It fits like just right. Like I like the baggy shit, but I look like I'm swimming in it.
Yeah.
Like y'all can wear baggy and it fits just right. So you could wear colors galore. If I wear colors, I look insane. Like if I wear too many colors, like I look crazy as hell. You can wear colors. You can wear the baggy shit. Boxy shit. You can. Boxy shit does two things. One, it looks like you are in high fashion over at Balenciaga somewhere. Let's not use Balenciaga. I forgot the kids. Let's use like Gucci or something.
Yeah, that's not great either. No, steer clear of the whole thing.
Like that's one. But two, it also like slims you out. Whereas boxy shit makes us just look ridiculously weird. Like, so y'all got the cheat codes. Y'all got the cheat codes for sure.
Maybe I'm just not accessing it correctly. So I need some help.
You, bro.
I think baggy shit making a comeback. And Gabe,
have you seen my Instagram story with my New Year's outfit? Yeah, my New Year's outfit, like I think I was really killing it, you know. But
yeah, you were. You were killing it with the karaoke, but that's besides the point. Anyways, let's keep going. One of the last songs on the album is "When I Grow Up." Two things you wanted to be when you grew up.
I wanted to be an orthopedic surgeon.
You have a steady hand for that.
I do not. Somebody was gonna die playing with me.
I'm a shaky motherfucker.
I'm a shaky. Yeah. I didn't know that was a requirement, but fortunately, by 7th grade, that dream was gone. After that, from 7th to dropping out, I wanted to be an accountant. Boring as hell. But yeah, I wanted to be like a business manager, accountant, all that shit.
Are you still slick with the math? Is that something that people?
I am fire. I am really good, like really good. I can do that shit in my head, like I'm good.
Okay. All right. Okay. Gabe, what you got?
All right. You're Kayo Southside. What would Kayo Northside sound like?
That's hilarious. He would probably. Have you ever heard of Jaleel? I think I'm pronouncing his name right.
Yeah.
He would sound like him for sure.
He would sound like Jaleel. Yo, that's crazy. You be doing
like
backflips and
no
shit?
Question. Oh yeah, backflips off to like Mike Sand and shit. For sure.
That's hilarious.
Amazing. In the interview in October that you did with These Days Mag, you were talking a lot about your single Talk, and I Don't Want to Talk was something that was mentioned a lot on that song. So, given that we're in the new year, what are topics of discussion that you would like to not discuss in 2023?
I would like to not discuss splitting bills with your partner, with your significant other.
I think we're all done with that conversation. Yes.
I would like to not discuss how much a date should or should not be. Like the fact that y'all are trying to put a number on it is crazy. Like
Yeah.
it could be $1,000, it could be $0. Like it depends on where you're going. I would like to not discuss that, and I would also like to not. I want to give a third one. I'll just stick with those two. Let's just stay out of each other's business.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just keep
let's
the
not
dating
discuss each other's
conversations, the Twitter
Yeah.
conversations, the dialogue. Cut it out, man. Then 2023. You gotta be
Yeah.
better. Gotta be better.
All right. My
Right.
last fun question in the song and video memories, you talk about playing the Dreamcast. What is your favorite Dreamcast game that you played? What did you run
Oh
up?
my god! Oh my
What
god!
still works?
I need to get.
Woo!
I need to get Elijah LaFleur on here, bro. It's my older brother. He would know so much better. So basically, this answer is not going to be the answer that you want. My brother, I learned this as I got older. I never played a game on that shit in my life. I thought I was playing as a kid, but he just gave me a controller and like that shit was hooked up to nothing. So he can tell you what we was playing. I never played a single game on Dreamcast in my fucking life, bro.
Oh
Like,
man, we'll have
ever.
to change that. We'll have to change that.
Hey man, I'm gonna have
bro.
words with Elijah next time I see him. That is disrespect.
That's
Disrespect.
It's crazy.
that's the shit I do to my 3-year-old. I can give him a controller not plugged to anything. Here you
But
go.
I
Just
was born in '99, so like we had the
Oh my
Xbox by
God.
the time I was like 6. So like I was literally
Wow.
like 3 playing that shit, like thinking I was playing. Yeah,
wow.
Crazy.
And NFL 2K with Randy Moss is the correct answer. But
fire. I did play 2K 5 on the Xbox.
Was that
the
Shaq on the
Endzone
cover?
shit. Nah, the NFL one.
Oh, the
NFL.
NFL.
So it was
was
like,
that T.O.?
yeah, it
T.O.
was-
on the cover?
Yes,
that was the
NFL.
ESPN joint when
Yeah,
ESPN took
yeah,
over.
yeah.
Yes. It was
Yeah,
crazy, 'cause they
that
gave you
joint-
this view where you could like be inside of the helmet. That shit was great.
Yeah, ESPN snapped with that one. Yep.
Yeah. Smacker. All right, last fun question here. You talked in your interview in October about going on tour. You're working with a lot of people who are out on tour, out on the road. I'm giving you 5 dates. Where are you going? Anywhere on planet Earth. You got 5 dates. It's a mini tour. It's not, it's not nothing crazy, but you got 5 dates. You can go anywhere. Travel's not an issue. Money's not an issue. Where you going?
We're doing a mini tour this year too, by the way. Side note. But where am I going? 5 dates. Obviously I'm in Chicago. I'm ending in Chicago. Every tour I go on for the rest of my life will end in Chicago.
Dang.
Starting in. I'm going to Paris. I have a crazy listenership out in Paris, and they be
Word
tweeting
up.
me and shit. It's really interesting.
Hey,
Yeah.
I know some motherfuckers in Bordeaux that you should definitely link up with. They make some crazy
Hey,
music
let's
out
do
there.
it. Let's do it. Paris, London, Chicago, Paris, London, Africa, Ghana. Since everybody just got back from
Oh no,
Ghana.
you can't just say Africa, bro. Yeah, you gotta. Okay,
Yeah,
Ghana
yeah.
is your 4th.
Ghana.
Ghana is your 4th.
Ghana, and I'm going to go. Where is whatchamajig? Where is the Woodstock Festival?
New York.
Like New York, yeah.
New York. Okay, well,
Like the
we'll do
OG
New York.
Woodstock Festival with Jimmy Hendrix.
Oh wait, I'm going to Madison Square Garden.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm tweaking.
Hell yeah, that's an incredible 5-stop tour.
Okay.
There are no
Very
short
random
legs.
though.
Yeah,
Very
no,
random.
but it actually works out. Like if you end in Chicago, but you start in Paris, it makes a lot of sense because you could go Paris,
Facts, yeah, just
London,
across, yeah.
London to Ghana, Ghana to New York, or somehow get back to New York, and then New York, Chicago, done.
Somehow.
That's smooth.
Yeah.
Just be careful. Don't take Spirit from New York to Chicago because then you got to go to Nashville and then.
Yo, Spirit has crazy. Like Spirit will take you past your destination.
Yeah.
For a layover. Like you drive right through that shit.
We'd be like, oh shit, there's Nashville. I'll be there in 4 hours.
That shit is
This
crazy.
incredible. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
God.
That'd be some real new meaning to it was fun while it lasted. You know? There you go. Like, damn.
Oh Oh my god.
Make sure you get a travel sponsor for this tour. Let me tell you.
Nah, facts. Yeah, y'all are hilarious, yo.
All right. KO, thank you so much.
On tour is crazy.
That's a story in itself. Avoid at all costs.
Oh man, that's another story I gotta tell you about off air. But anyways, let's close it out.
KO, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Go see KO at this album release party at the Sanctuary here in Chicago on Friday the 13th, tomorrow night, wherever you're watching this. We appreciate your time so much. The album is phenomenal. It was fun while it lasted. When's it gonna hit the DSPs? Tell us when the drop date is.
January 17th, so the night of the 16th. So at 11 p.m. Central Time on the 16th. It'll be yours. If you got a private link, if you're listening to this and I sent you the SoundCloud link, make sure you go buy that shit because I know you're not going to stream it because you've heard it 100 times already. So go to iTunes, search KO. It was fun while it lasted. Go purchase it or go stream it. It's up to you. You can do it for free too. But just do something to add the numbers up.
As a person who doesn't like to buy digital, are you going to do any physical releases, vinyl, tapes, anything special like that?
For you, I will. Absolutely. Don't hold me to it though.
Yeah,
or
make the old heads happy, you know.
Or like, let me get a T-shirt with the digital download code or something like that. I don't know. I want something physical I can hold.
Hilarious. Okay, bet. I definitely got y'all with some merch for sure.
I appreciate you.
That's easy.
All right, KO, thank you again so much for dropping into Weekend at Games. We appreciate it. This is a great start for our show and the new year, man. I know this record's going to be ringing off the entire 2023, man. I know it's going to end up in the best of as well. So you did a great job. Right. Fantastic. Congratulations, and have a great time tomorrow because I know you're going to be celebrating.
Thank you, man. Yes, sir. You already know, bro. Love, I appreciate y'all for having me.
All right.
Come on, man.
All right.
All right, family.
KO Southside here tonight on Weekend at Games. Southside Worldwide. You know what it is.
You know what it is. Hey, man, I know we went massively over time on that, and that is my fault, Weekend Gabe. But at the same time, what an incredible dude. And there are so many more stories. So I hope we get him back on to really dive into the depths of those little bits that he hinted at, that he talked about wanting to talk off air. Maybe we get those on air.
I gotta learn more about this this crazy school in Florida.
Yeah,
I need more about. I need more details.
Excited. I'm excited about all that. But there's no time to even discuss anything that we have going on with Kayo Southside. Well, hold on. That was the Kayo Southside interview.
Thanks for watching this latest episode. We hope that you enjoyed it. If you're looking for more, click on any of the episodes swirling around my head. And also, don't forget to follow us on the socials at Weekend Gabe, at Weekend at Gabe's, and also at The Real Sam Crane. All right, thanks for watching, y'all.